Okay, so now we are making stuffings for dumplings. We're making vegetarian today. I'll do beef and carrots another day, pork and all sorts of veggies in different times. And we need carrots, eggs, and a lettuce. Preferably this kind, but if you have the other kind that looks like Chinese cabbage, that would be fine. And so I'm just gonna explain our procedure today. First step is gonna be scrambled eggs. Second step would be dealing with this, which is the most hard work of everything about stuffing. And then we do the carrots, and then we mix everything together with a bit of green onion and stuff. Okay, so first step, scrambled eggs. I'm pretty sure you all know how to scramble it, but I'm still gonna do it because it would be fun for you to watch. Just gonna wash my hands real quick. And turn on the stove. Alright. Okay, this is done. And you just... oh, that's black pepper. Okay, salt. A little bit. You don't need much. And mix it in. Okay. Good. Oil. We use peanut oil, but veggie and other sorts, as long as it's not olive oil, would be perfect. Okay. This is a trick that my mom taught me, which is to cover the bottom of your pan with oil before you do anything. This way it protects the pan for some reason. Okay, so this is good. Just waiting for it to heat up. Turn it down a bit so that... Alright. I myself would like to throw in the eggs a bit earlier than I should, because this way I have more control over what I'm doing. My mom likes to wait till everything's hot before she throws them in. I think it's just personal preferences. Okay. This is mostly good. I turned it off the stove. And done. I don't like to waste anything, so I put it right back to the bowl. So like the heat cooks the rest as well. And even if it doesn't, we're gonna cook it anyways. Alright, so that's the egg done. Okay, so now we're dealing with the lettuce. This is the most, not really complicated, but most annoying step of making stuffing. So while I use a cleaver, you can use whatever you want. And cut it in half. Uh-oh, it's not really half, but it's fine. We don't need this. Oh, actually I'm putting this in garbage so that I can return this. Whoops. To its bag. Okay. This is a skill actually to have. It's also a really annoying thing to do. Okay. So first step is to just cut everything as small as possible. So this is the first dimension. We're making stripes. And we turn it and chop them into small pieces, as small as possible. Requires some patience here, but more later. Okay, that's not done. This is still really big pieces. So what we do is that we drizzle a bit of salt and we just keep cutting, like little by little. They need to be really fine, and we're getting close, but not quite. I normally lose my patience right now. This is when I start wishing that I have a bigger cutting board so that I can do more stuff with it. Okay, so this is, well, as good as I willing to make it. I think my grandparents do better than me because they have more decades of experiences. Okay, what we do now is that we squeeze the water out. So this is a special cloth. They're really thin, and you see there are tiny holes on them to make water go through. I don't think normal tablecloth would work, but if you find the thinnest one, or if you use a couple layers of bandage gauges, it might work. So we just scoop it up, make it into a tiny sack, and squeeze. Requires a bit of strength as well. Okay, so this, although not perfect, is acceptable. You see how small it's become? It's just the water's out. And we put it into our bowl. Oh, and one trick is that you never put the eggs in first, but you always cook it first. Because you don't want hot eggs where you put the veggies in, otherwise it's gonna just get more water out. Okay. Another quarter. You just repeat. We're doing carrots. I have this, which is a tool for making really thin slices, so I'll use it. If you don't have it, it might be a pain to slice the carrots really fine again, but you might have other tools that would use to work. The cheese ones actually would work. They might just be a bit hard to handle with the cheese ones. So it's basically the same thing you do with cheese, except those slices are much thinner, and you need to be really careful with your hand because carrot is hard. So now we have a bowl of carrots, all sliced, really fine. I used 3 carrots for this, and I think it should be enough. So what we do, since carrots is dry, we don't have to dry it anymore, but we still need to chop it. Sometimes more than once, just so that it's fine enough. So this is just a few more. Okay, this is good. Scoop it up and into the bowl. And we do the same with the rest. Okay, so now we have all the carrots in. So this is 3 carrots, 1 round lettuce, and 2 eggs. First we put the egg in. What we do is basically just, squeeze it so that it's finer. Some people don't like to squeeze the eggs. That just needs you to scramble it really fine, which I don't do often. I like big chunks of eggs, that's why. And again, you'll want to fry the eggs first, but put them in the last so that they have the time to cool down, and so that they don't make everything watery. Okay, so this is good. Just gonna quickly wash my hands. And for the ingredients, for the spices, since this is veggie, it's much simpler than any meat ones. What we'll need is salt, sesame oil, a bit of soy sauce. The Japanese one would work. Light soy sauce, Chinese light soy sauce works as well. But today we have this. I'll show you the proper Chinese light one some other time. And then we have this, which is the stuffing, Chinese stuffing, let's say spices. I think you can get it somewhere in Chinatown if you look for them carefully. If not, 5-spice powder or the 13 spices would work as well. And you can just look for them. So, we need salt. We're prepping for 70 about dumplings, so don't be afraid to put in this. Oops. You don't need much soy sauce. It's the savory sort ofness. It's mainly by this thing and the salt. Okay, you need a lot of this though. Actually, I'm just gonna put it all in. Just really little left. Okay, and that actually should be enough, but I need more salt. And it's okay if you don't get it perfect the first time. The trick about Chinese food is that you always taste it. Even though you have experience of like, I don't know, 3 decades, a lot of people still taste it before they serve the dishes. So the trick for this stuffing is an old saying in China, which is 蒸咸煮淡, and it means that if you're gonna steam it, it's gonna get saltier, so you need less salt and spices, and if you're gonna boil it, it's gonna get less saltier, so you need more spices. And we're making dumplings, which is mainly a boiled dish in where I come from, in Beijing. So I'll need to make it more saltier than I'd like. And a little bit salt. Remember to mix it really well. You don't want the salt or anything to be concentrated in one dumpling. That's gonna be a disaster. Okay, this is good.